He leadeth me, O blessed thought, O words with heavenly comfort from.
We are never against the autonomy of the local church. It is the autonomy of the local church that is making us to be all gathered here. It is the autonomy of the local church that makes us to serve the convention where we are. We are all local church people ourselves. Sometimes when they are talking about local church, people talk as if convention people are not part of church. We are local church people.
If you are a local church pastor, until you have occupied the position of the convention, you will be holding many wrong opinions about the denomination to which you belong. I am saying that from the hindsight of my position before as a local church pastor. And I know the president now also will have learned that some of his opinions when he was out there as a local church pastor were not the right thing. Because if you want this organization to continue to move and move in the right directions, we know that autonomy of the local church is not a blanket autonomy.
For any convention to be a convention, corporate decision must be respected to every church that belongs. Let me tell you, go around the whole of Africa. Many conventions are crippling because of that understanding of local church autonomy.
How can we be against local church that produced us? Every conference president was nominated by the local churches. All EC members were nominated by the local churches. All moderators were nominated by the local churches. Every pastor is in his church because the local churches call them. So what are you saying? Nobody posted a pastor there. The local church called the pastor. That is our system. In those days, we used to post. When my father graduated from the seminary in 1953, he was posted to First Baptist Church, Bukuru, in Plateau State. A few years after, posting of people stopped. In our denomination, we don't post. It is other denominations now that are inviting us to come and give them lecture on the call system. They are surprised how the Baptist church is running without problems. Because they know what happens when you transfer this pastor and transfer that pastor and transfer this one. It gives them a lot of problems. They are envious of our call system.
Autonomy that can never be taken for lasciviousness. It is an autonomy that is operated in humility and with few recognition that a part can never be bigger than a whole. When we come here as autonomous churches and we say we are cooperating, and these are the directions in which our cooperation will work, you cannot stand there as one of the churches that took the decision and say when you get to your church, you will not do it. You are not a promoter of the cooperation, but a destroyer of the cooperation. That is the truth. There is no society in the world to which you will belong that will not have its rules and regulations.
Let me tell you, go around the whole of Africa. Many conventions are crippling because of that understanding of local church autonomy. Apart from Nigerian Baptist Convention and Ghana Baptist Convention, who are working hard to redefine local church autonomy, many conventions are crippling. If the church constitution says pastor should not preside over church conference, the convention policy say the pastor is the one to preside over the church conference. What that church should do before amending the constitution is to raise a resolution. The resolution to the effect that the convention has taken a decision, a policy, that we put that aspect of their constitution aside, pending when the constitution will be reviewed. That's the standard practice. If you don't do that, one church will wake up one day and say, in our constitution, it's on Saturday we are going to worship. One church will wake up one day and say, we are no longer going to use Sunday school produced by Nigerian Baptist Convention. At the end of the day, you will kill this convention. Somebody will say, we are not going to call a pastor trained in the theological institution of the convention. We will go to Anglican to call a pastor. That's what our church wants. Is that the kind of denomination we want to have?
He leadeth me, O blessed thought, O words with heaven.
The autonomy of the local church, nobody is tampering with it. Not even this man speaking with you will ever allow the autonomy of the local church to be tampered with. That is actually what we are fighting. That anybody should tamper with the autonomy of the local church. But because our autonomy is a cooperative autonomy, on March 11, 1914, when those churches gathered together at First Baptist Church, Idika, Ibadan, to begin what we call the Nigerian Baptist Convention, that is celebrating super centenary this year, on that very day they came together, absolute autonomy became removed. Everybody became bound by the decision of everyone.
God created Adam and Eve as free individuals in the garden. Though they were free to eat anything, but He has put a caveat on their autonomy. The caveat was, you have freedom, willpower, eat anything, but don't eat this one. Because you have a relationship with me. If you want to continue to maintain that relationship, don't eat this one. However, if you decide to eat it, the relationship between you and me will be broken. You will die. You will die. And they said, well, you are giving us autonomy. We will eat anything. It didn't for them not to eat it. But you cannot eat your cake and have it at the same time. If you cannot abide by what all of us have agreed to do in terms of our constitution, in terms of our policies and practices, then don't cause confusion in these bodies.
When we meet like this, a decision that we take, if it's documented in our policy and practice, if it's documented in our minutes, if it's documented on our book of report, any document that our corporate decision is documented is to be respected by every member church.
Autonomy means nobody tampers with your church whom you want to call as your pastor. Nobody tampers with your money, how you want to spend it, but we cooperate. We have said a particular percentage should be given to the association, to the conference, and to the convention. And in our larger cooperation by organizations, if WMU is saying all women in Nigeria should give 1,000 naira, in your church, the women are to cooperate. If youths say that all youths in the convention should give 500 naira, every youth must cooperate in all churches. That is our cooperative autonomy. You cannot say in our own church We have not decided. No, since you are part of the national body, we work together. The autonomy is being abused from several angles. There are pastors that are abusing the autonomy of the local church. Sorry to say that you are my fellow pastors, you are my brothers and sisters. But what you hear some pastors do, you will be shocked about the church. Some churches will not hold meetings. Somebody referred to that. That is wrong. We are also against that. One pastor was telling me, see, in our church, they've given me permission to just do whatever. I told him, the day it will boomerang, you are the one that will be looking for us. It didn't take long. Our system is the best. It makes everybody accountable. But we must not maintain a laissez-faire leadership for anybody to do whatever he likes. That's going to be chaos. We are going to have anarchy in the denomination if we don't stand together. So we call it responsible autonomy, we call it cooperative autonomy, because there are certain things we do together. That is the only reason we are one.
And leadeth me. Sometimes it seems